David, thank you. Guilty on all accounts. That's the final verdict from a jury in a stabbing trial that played out in Brown County Court this week. Drew Best was in the courtroom where that verdict was read. He joins us now in the studio. Drew.
Yeah, Elise, only 2 hours of deliberation tonight on the fourth day of the jury trial. Jahari Jelks convicted of all 6 felony and misdemeanor counts he faced, including attempted first-degree intentional homicide, false imprisonment, and armed robbery. Back in December of 2024, police found the victim, a 56-year-old man, on Western Avenue in Green Bay with several stab wounds. He and other witnesses originally picked Jelks out of a photo lineup following the attack. During the closing arguments, the prosecution told jurors all evidence pointed to Jelks being the guilty party, but the defense argued the victim gave unreliable testimony, not recalling what specific weapon was used in the stabbing. He also said there was no objective evidence placing Jelks at the scene. In the end, it wasn't enough to sway the jury. Jelks chose not to testify when given the opportunity, but now he is scheduled to be back in court for his sentencing on March 13th. Elise?